Hey everyone, sorry about that. My battery cut out on me again. I do have, like I said, a nice eggplant here that I will be harvesting today. So the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention again is that stevia plant. Before it was a little small plant, and it's not only got some upshoots, but it's got some side growth going on as well. So stevia plant is definitely doing well. As far as cilantro, you can see I have, it's kind of hard to see in the light here, but I do have some yellow or some white flowers growing, and I'll probably be letting the cilantro go to seed to not only replant, but collect some coriander as well. Coriander seed goes well in a lot of things that I grow, or a lot of things that I eat. So I want to take you over here next to my squash. And squash, as you can see there's one. There's another one over on the left there you can see. So squash is doing very well. The only problem is, and I'm going to take you around to the other side of the garden, I mentioned I've been having some raccoon problems. And as a result of those raccoons, or raccoon, some of my squash are not doing all that well. So I'll take you around to the other side and kind of show you that. But for now, at least with this plant here, I'm getting some good growth, good squash growth, and I'll be harvesting those again today to eat throughout the week. Next door here, I do have some cucumbers growing. Let me try to put this back through so it'll continue to grow up. I'm going to try to, as you say, train the plant. Oops, let me get a better picture of that. Train the plant up. So there we go. Hopefully that plant then starts to continue to grow up. As far as cucumbers go, I do have some. I was hoping for more. I think it's just a result of being planted where it is. You can see there's one there. Also have some. There's a small one growing right there. Kind of hard to see in the light. I was hoping for more cucumbers than I'm actually getting. I think what's happening here is, again, just the area of the garden is not the best. I thought it would be nice to have these grow up the tree, or grow up the fence here, and they are. But I think it's just the soil that they're growing from is not the best. I could be doing much better. So, lesson learned, I'll be moving the cucumber plants to another area along the fence. I think, I like the fence idea. I like the fact that they're growing up, and it looks nice, and it's putting these cucumbers out, but I need a new area of the garden with a little bit more richer soil where I can get watered a little bit more frequently and hopefully produce much more cucumbers than what I'm getting now. So, but you can see, again, I'm getting a couple. Here's another variety, actually, in here. But let me move on. So along the back, I have lots of peas that are now, starting to dry up and die, and I'll be harvesting those peas soon to either do a fall planting, or more likely save the seeds for a spring planting next year. And as I mentioned, I did not get a big pea harvest this year. I think that's mostly due to not planting them soon enough. You can see here, if I come in a little bit, you can see the peas kind of brown and drying out, and as I run between my fingers, they're cracking a bit. So they're definitely ready, in my opinion, to harvest. So I'll be doing that here probably today to gather the seeds and gather some of these peas. Okay, as I come around to the other side of the garden, you're going to start to see some of the biggest damage from the raccoon. But as I come down in here, you can actually see I've got some huckleberries growing. So those of you unfamiliar with huckleberries, this is what they look like. They're little black berries that I'm going to be harvesting and making a little bit of a huckleberry jam out of. So I've never had them before, I've never tried them, but looking forward to making a huckleberry jam to spread on some toast and eat from there. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'll report back and let you know if it's worth growing huckleberries. The plant grows all over the place. I mean, it's kind of, if I can hopefully get this, it's expanded over into here, and then as you can see, the plant has grown sideways and up, and is spreading out wings from there. So it's growing like a weed almost. But let me step over here. So as I move into the garden, you're going to start to see some of the damage done. Again, my okra plants are knocked over sideways. I've kind of losing faith. This animal is doing damage to knock these plants over, and if you get knocked over every day, I don't know how much the plant is going to end up growing. You can see how this okra plant is nowhere near as healthy and growing as strong as this one here, which, as you can see, There's a nice okra, red okra. So those of you who have not seen red okra before, I do have red okra, and I'll be harvesting that and taking it back. So let me show you an okra flower, which is actually pretty cool. There you go. That is the flower of a red okra plant. So it's really beautiful, actually. I'm pretty happy with this okra. There's another one next to it. I don't know if you can see this okra as well, right here. But yeah, that's okra. I definitely will be planting a lot more of these next year. I really like the flowers. I really like the plant. I just need to hope for no more animal damage that's destroyed my harvest here. So, but again, lesson learned. I'm going to try to prevent some of this animal damage next year. And just to show you how much dirt and how much damage this animal has done, in between these rows here, I dropped probably 30 or 40 newspapers to put in between the rows to step on and prevent the muddy walkway. Well, you can see the walkway is now full of mud, and that's due to the animal just coming in here and scavenging through and basically destroying everything that I've worked so hard to do. And as a result, you can see how there's just empty gaps with these pepper plants where the animal has just basically dug out the pepper plants. So you know, you work hard throughout the year, and it's frustrating sometimes to have to deal with things like this, but it happens. That's nothing you can do, and you just try to work around it and harvest what you can, and that's really where I am at this point. But back to the other side, one of the other cool things that I want to show you is actually what I call Cape gooseberries. And I don't know if you can see them under there, but there's little, almost like lantern type things that are underneath all of these leaves. So as I come up here, you can see how many there are. And if I can find one, I think you're only supposed to harvest them when they're ripe, meaning when the underside is kind of dry and papery. And I don't know if any of these are at that point, but we'll see. I'll take you around here. We'll see if we can find one and even try one here. You know, I'm not seeing any that are all that ripe at this point, but they're kind of cool looking. They're orange in color, and the flavor is almost like a sweet berry. So Cape gooseberries, okra, definitely growing next year. As far as the huckleberries go, I will be, like I said, trying those, making some jam, and if it turns out I like it, then I know for next year that I need to stake these. I need to grow them upright and provide some room so they don't grow everywhere like cucumbers or melons or anything else that would be vining. I need to, you know, provide a little bit more training for these to grow up. But here's the squash, some more squash. As you can see, again in the back there's quite a bit of damage as far as why these plants are no longer in the original areas. They're knocked over on the side. I'm even seeing a pine cone in here. Pine cones are nowhere to be found around here. So you can see that animals are, something is just, you know, damaging this beyond belief. So anyway, you can see here I do have some more growth of squash. This is a lemon squash, so as you can see, the squash does look like a lemon, and I've got one there. I've got some more flowers here. I'll probably be doing some hand pollination to get some of these growing just in case. And then over in the back there I've got some more squash growing. It's hard for me to walk at this point due to some of the plants being shifted and moved, and you can even see some of the damage done by the raccoon. There's just dead plants down here that have been uprooted. That's a bean plant just uprooted and, you know, dried and died. So unfortunately this plant, or this animal, has caused a tremendous amount of damage to the garden. So anyway, the good news is, like I said, I still have what I have. I'm still able to harvest some things. As you can see here, I have this is I think a white albino pepper that's growing. Do have some nice green peppers growing there. These will actually turn purple. I think they're called purple beauties. So once it you know, grows a little bit more, it'll start to turn color. These are my little sport peppers that are now starting to turn as well. And then over here, the Chinese 5 color. So you can see a lot of yellow, red, purple, other colors listed in these plants. But one of the things that I'm actually most a fan of, if I go to the other side here, alright, sorry for the shaking of the camera there. Let me see if I can show. These are, looks like these are serranos. And I've got some cubanelles here. If I can kind of get the camera to show a little bit better. There you go. So there's a nice Cubanelle that's growing. And then I've actually got pimento peppers growing. I don't know if you can see that all that well. My camera's... Anyway, I've actually got some ghost chilies in here somewhere. If I can find them. In the middle of all this mess. I believe I should have some ghost chilies somewhere. Sorry for looking. I'm trying to get a good shot in here. Doing a pretty bad job, as you can imagine. Let me see if I can find some. Here we go. Alright. So you can see right there, and right there, and there. A lot of ghost chilies. So hopefully ripening up. And if this raccoon continues to come around here, I'm going to be trying to feed it one of these ghost chilies to see if that'll shut him up. But yeah, looking forward to harvesting these, see how spicy they get. I know sometimes peppers that are meant to be a lot more spicy are not as spicy due to the soil that they're growing in, but you know, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try to step over this pepper plant here in the row to give you another view of the garden. Alright, so here's some more peppers. I've got some pretty big peppers. I think these are yellow peppers when they eventually turn ripe, but quite a bit of growth. And as I turn around here, you can see some tomatoes. Again, they're starting to grow, but I wanted to show you the damage again that this plant, or this raccoon is doing. I mean, it's just basically uprooting a lot of these tomato plants, so I'm not expecting many of them to live much longer. I can see a lot of damage, a lot of browning on the plants already. You know, if a plant has its roots just totally exposed, it's not going to be doing much longer. I'm sure a lot of these are in shock, and as a result of that, my harvest is not going to be as long as it was in previous years. So it's definite disappointment. And as far as why this animal is coming in here, I'm told after reading online that it's probably just after worms. So after 2-3 years of trying to feed a lot of organic matter into my soil, I have had a lot of worms, a ton of worms. I mean, thousands of worms. And as a result of getting worms, now I have a new issue. So hopefully that will be something I can solve, maybe move the animal on out of here, and hopefully prevent it from coming back. So anyway, that's my update for now. Thanks everyone. Talk to you later.